Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we're going to take a look at a very fancy Sons of Horus Praetor and ask, where's the Iron Warriors version? So yesterday we had a bit more news for the Horus Heresy in the form of the Legion Dispatch, where there's another new model. They're keeping up to speed with this stuff. They've not abandoned it again. It's not been a massive gap between the last reveal. They are actually kind of keeping on top of things, as you'd expect they would, given all of the rumours and stuff that are floating around about a new Horus Heresy box, and indeed a whole bunch of boxes, potentially. And you know what? This guy does look good. This is for the Sons of Horus, and he looks absolutely solid, to be honest. It's a really good model. Not too overly busy, but there is enough stuff going on to know what you're looking at. It's not like he's absolutely covered in like gilded sections from head to toe. There's some nice blank armor plates that you can still weather up and, you know, get a nice finish on without them being like cluttered up and stuff. It's a pretty solid model overall. I think they've done a decent job because it is incredibly Sons of Horus, but also I feel like they've left it just plain enough in sections that you might be able to get away with making it fit for basically whatever force you're running in the Horus Heresy. Well, assuming you're not playing Mechanicum or, say, Guard or something. Obviously, Space Marines, but it's got, I think, the perfect mix of unfussy, but still clearly important at the same time. There have, of course, been a few Praetors that have been a bit over the top in terms of ornamentation and in terms of, like, just the sheer amount of extra stuff plastered all over the armour. I'm thinking specifically the Ultramarines and the Word Bearers. They have a lot of iconography and stuff going on, which this one doesn't do, but it still looks really solid. I mean, for a start, Cataphractii armour usually does, but they've also upscaled again. So this guy is definitely a little bit taller, but also broader, I think, than some of the others. And I can see why they're driving towards kind of aiming for more of a true scale look for the Horus Heresy stuff. But I think it kind of adds a bit of extra girth to the lad that maybe isn't 100% needed. Overall, though, I think it's pretty damn solid and a very good basis for pretty much making whatever you wanted out of it. It's kind of unobtrusive enough, the actual iconography on there, that you think you could use it for pretty much anything. I do like the two skulls hanging off the belt. That's a nice touch. And the cables running into that kind of central part of the chest armor, the breastplate is, I don't know, I really like that. Just little things on this model that stand out. The kind of extra armour as well on the shoulder pads. Just adds a little something to it for me. I also very much appreciate the addition of a back banner as well. You just don't get enough back banners these days. They're just not a thing as much as they used to be. I say that, I don't actually really like I don't like loads of them. The occasional one, when it's modest, I like. But I'm not one of those people that was a big fan of the back banner to begin with. This one I give a pass. It's different, it's unique, it stands out. It's not too absurdly, stupidly big. It's just about right for the model, so I'll give them that one. Also, nice cape, as always. Really, the only thing I don't like about this particular model is the fact that well, I'm not going to say it's not needed, because having a unique Praetor for every Legion is a cool thing. It's a nice thing. It gives that kind of separation between each of them and means everyone gets their own kind of character, their own unique take on what that unit is. But the Sons of Horus have already got a couple of characters out. They've already got something that could work nicely as just being a Praetor, and they don't necessarily need any more additions to the range when there are other legions that don't have anything. I'm thinking Iron Warriors specifically, as I said at the start of the video, but that's just because the Iron Warriors are my boys. I like Iron Warriors, and the fact that there are some legions in the Horus Heresy that have got, it feels like a multitude of characters and Praetors, while the Iron Warriors have none, kind of rubs me up the wrong way. It gets on my nerves a little bit. I think of the various legions, I'm pretty sure the Raven Guard and the Salamanders are also like totally lacking in these unique Praetors and indeed unique characters. I feel like if you've got unique characters, then you could probably stand to wait a bit for a Praetor, whereas if you've got Praetors, you might be able to stand to wait a little bit for unique characters. But there's like 3 legions, I think it's those 3, that are just totally lacking in any of it. One of the legions I would be most interested in starting is the Iron Warriors, and the Iron Warriors don't have anything unique. They don't have anything that is, like, in terms of characters, they have no named characters that have models. They have no unique Praetors. I love the word bearers, but if I was going to do a Horus Heresy force and fully commit, although I've toyed with the idea of word bearers, it would have to be Iron Warriors, and they kind of feel a bit neglected at the moment. And that's how I feel as someone outside looking in and wondering whether to take the plunge into trying Horus Heresy properly. I can't imagine how the people who actually play those legions feel. I mean, surely it's harder to persuade someone to start, like, Salamanders, Draven Guard, and Iron Warriors if you're looking at the range and going, well, this legion has got all these characters and Praetors. This legion has got all these characters and Praetors. This legion's also got these Dreadnoughts as well. You have got, that's right, you've got pretty much nothing. But you should still do it, it's great. I don't know how you're supposed to persuade people that they're getting the same amount of attention or care if there's no visible sign that they're getting the same attention and care, because they kind of aren't if they don't have any named characters with a model and no unique Praetors. And yes, you can convert. You can always convert. You know that I'm all about the converting and kit bashing, and that's something that I would probably do. But at the same time, there is that feeling of having to do Games Workshop's job for them, if that makes sense. It's like, on the one hand, yeah, you could easily kit bash and convert your own unique Praetor, but all the other legions have got one. All the other legions have got a named character. Well, I say all. Most of the other legions have got one. Most of the others have got a named character, but this one specifically just hasn't. It just doesn't have that, which just makes it feel off. It makes it feel like they're being borderline ignored. Now, whether that's accurate to say is another matter entirely. That is one of those things that is all down to like personal interpretation, like subjectiveness. But it's still something that kind of filters through the back of my head when I look at stuff like that, where you see something and go, well, Games Workshop seem to be doing a huge amount for X army, but they're not doing anything for this lot. I mean, think about Eldar, for instance. It's kind of, at this point, there are so many different Space Marine supplements and unique characters and Primaris Lieutenants, and the Eldar have got practically nothing. They've got one new character, and they've got the new Howling Banshees. And that's been it for a really, really long time. And it's very hard not to look at that and go, well, they're being neglected. The same thing translates to the Horus Heresy. It's one of those things where, yeah, admittedly, there are a lot of Space Marine releases, but then it would be because it's Horus Heresy. But even within those different legions, even within the kind of overarching, well, it's all Space Marines, there are individual sub-factions that are just getting almost no attention and no care, which kind of makes it difficult to bring yourself to take the plunge, I guess. So this guy looks great. I do like the look of this model. It is a really nice looking model. They've done a really good job of it. But it's just not for the right legion, I guess, for me to really connect with it anymore, if that makes sense. And yeah, I know, it kind of falls under that category of complaining about things Games Workshop do with you, things that you like, but I think there is something to be said for just being a bit more even-handed. Like, you can like what a company makes and like the models they make, whilst also not being a big fan of the decisions that led to the creation of said model. In this specific instance, I do like what they've made. I like what they've produced. It's a solid model and it looks good. But there are other models that could probably have stood to have been made before this one, given that there are certain sections of this particular system which feel neglected compared to others. I hope that makes sense. It does in my head, but then again, a lot of this stuff does, and then it turns out to be absolute gibberish when it comes out of my mouth, so who knows? Anyway, let me know what you think of that lad in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to, and as always, there are now 2 affiliate links in the description down below, one for Element Games, for those of you in the UK and Europe, and one for Noble Knight Games for those of you in the US. You can use those to support the channel if you would like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.